Greetings and salutations, friends. I am the Wolf, Wolf Chahi. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the video. As always, it is very groovy to have you here. In today's video, we are going to be looking at my RUNE level 1 fights against Commander O'Neill and Commander Niall. As usual, we're just going through and taking a look at the equipment, the weapons, the talismans that I used, as well as the Wondrous Physic. I had the Opaline Hard Tier, Opaline Bubble Tiers for that extra protection. There's my proof that this is indeed a RUNE level 1 fight. Little bit of a transition here because I died on the first attempt. And in the interest of keeping this video as short as possible, I decided not to include that first attempt here because basically it was the same fight with the exception that I just made one grievous error and paid for it dearly with my life. So other than that, the fight was exactly the same. I didn't change up my strategy at all. The first thing I wanted to focus on was getting rid of his little friends that he summons here. And you're going to see me doing a lot of this running around, trying to get an enemy that is not part of a group, so I can sort of separate them out and pick them off a little bit. Two things that I really hate are being surrounded by enemies and being pinned up against a wall where I can't get away. So I really felt like I wanted to keep these guys separated as much as possible and pick them off one by one. And of course, parrying them was the most effective way, because you can get that beautiful critical hit and take them out in one shot. And coming up here, you're going to see something kind of frustrating. You see how I was trying to target the guy that tried to attack me, but it would not switch off of Commander O'Neill for a second there. But I was still able to get a parry off and a critical hit, or riposte. So it worked out in the end, even though I was dealing with some frustrating targeting issues there. This gentleman was trying to get up in my face. Well, I clearly did not want to have anything to do with him at the moment. Lost my bubble tier there, but that's okay. That's what it was there for. O'Neill trying to insert himself into the fight again. Me doing a little bit of panic rolling and then healing and paying for it by getting shot again. Trying to position myself in such a way as to bait one of these guys out and separate them from the group. Dealing with some frustrating obstacles, but that's all part of the game. Just going to take a deep breath and stay in the fight. At this point, I think I was starting to formulate an idea that rather than trying to bait these last two guys into giving me an attack that was parryable, maybe a little backstab might be kind of nice. Switched briefly to dual wielding daggers there for some reason. I'm not sure why I did that. So just trying to stay out of the way of their arrows. I got kicked, but there's the backstab with a little bit of heal on the end. And then maybe sneak in for another little backstab. There we go. Now the odds are even. It's 1v1. And let's take care of the commander himself. So, nice parry there. With a riposte. It's a nice parryable attack that he gave me. That's a beautiful spear that he has. I love it, the look of it, even if it's not a weapon I've ever really used. Some panic rolling there. It took me a while doing this fight and then doing the Niall fight to finally realize that I didn't need to dodge roll that many times. I just needed to just run away from those big AoE attacks. There we go, Commander O'Neill with an ineffectual spear stab. Me trying to position myself and get a quick little sip in before parrying 1,000 years too early. And then panic rolling because I was afraid of getting rotted. So that's a nice parryable attack, and I got the timing that time, which is also very nice. And I stayed in the fight, thought I'd get a couple stabs in, probably could have parried that, but was just trying to get some stabs in, wasn't really looking for the parry at that moment. Snap another little piece of boiled crab, and get ready to deal with these little minions here. One minion down, 2 more to go. Come here, friend, you're next. Very nice. His friend taking damage when I stabbed him. Not sure how that works, but I'll take it. Even though I was able to one-shot these guys after the parry anyway. There we go, now we're back to 1v1 again. Okay, come here, Commander O'Neill, parryable, and I messed it up. Parried 1,000 years too late. And then panic rolling out of that rot AoE. As I said, bam, nice parry. As I said, it took me a while to get it in my brain that I didn't need to panic roll like that out of that AoE, that I could just run away. And then, let's see, nope, I did not get that one, which really sucked because it would have felt good to get that. But don't beat yourself up, just get right back in the fight. Parry the next attack. If at first you don't succeed, parry, parry again. That's what I always say. And now get ready for it. Mr. O'Neill, good night, sir. Thank you for an honorable fight. Bow to your worthy foe. And that's one commander down. One more commander to go. Say goodbye for now, Wolf. Goodbye for now. And on to the next fight. Now this fight, of course, is much, much harder. And so the bulk of this video is going to be taken up with this. And looking at what I did right and what I did wrong. And hopefully people can learn from my mistakes. So here I upgraded the Misericord up to +22. I was trying to max out my dexterity, so I equipped the Akina mask. I had the Radagon's Sword Seal. I decided to switch to the Dagger Talisman for the extra damage on criticals. I had the Prosthesis Wearer's Heirloom to also help increase dexterity. I put the Dexterity Knot on my Wondrous Physic to add even more dexterity. My goal here was to ultimately be able to one-shot Niall's little friends, his minions. And I couldn't quite get there. I did have a brainwave after defeating Niall and putting this video together that I could have used Golden Vow, and I bet that would have put me over the edge as far as damage. And so I reloaded my old save, and I went back. I tried it out with Golden Vow, and I was able to take the little minions out in one critical riposte using Golden Vow added on to the rest of this setup. So maybe in the future I'll go back and give that another try. Maybe I'll include it as a short on my channel. But for now, this is the strategy I used to ultimately defeat Niall with. As you can see, I did all but a tiny little bit of his HP bar. So I just needed one quick little swipe of my Misericord to finish him off. Always go to the right and tuck yourself in that little corner to bait that dual-wielding Knight out. You should dodge this. You can get a backstab in, but I wasn't positioned quite right for the backstab. And my timing was bad on those parries. So then I had to get out of there so I wouldn't die. I don't know what I was thinking there. I was thinking I was gonna parry, then I changed my mind maybe. Decided I probably should heal. And then I'm dead. You hate to see it. It feels bad to watch that back. But, you know, these are the sorts of things that happen. So just take a deep breath. Shake it off. Shake off the stress. Get back into the fight. If you're lucky, this guy, well, he didn't give me the attack I was hoping for. There it is. If you're lucky, he gives you that left-handed over-the-head attack right away. But 50% of the time, he's going to give you something different. And 50% of the time, I wasn't ready for it for whatever reason, even though I knew to expect it. I knew better. That guy teasing me with a little starting to attack, but then not. There's the backstab you can get. If you see him do that windy shield attack and you dodge into it, you can get a backstab, which is really nice. Eventually, I play a little more aggressively with these guys, but for the time being, I was being a little passive, trying to avoid, again, trying to avoid getting caught in the group and just pick them off one by one. Now he's going to open right away with this leg lightning attack. You just dodge backwards away from it, and then immediately after that he gives you a parryable attack. There is a curious thing about that parryable attack though, is you have to be in the right position for it. So after you dodge backwards and away, you actually have to correct your position a little bit by walking towards him into the right slightly, and then you can get in there and get the parry. You don't want to do that, because that results in death. So learn from my mistakes, friends. Sip the flask, snap the crab, and get back into the fight. So here he comes. What's he gonna give me? After his little Naruto run, he gives me the big attack, and then this I was, let's see, did I manage it? I managed it okay. I probably could have managed it a little better, a little more stylishly, but I got out of there. Got the parry, and then I had to deal with whatever's happening here, with Shield Boy getting involved. Both of these minions were playing a little more aggressively in this fight, and so I was trying to get away so that I could deal with them separately and more calmly. This guy coming at me Naruto run style again. But I just finished him off with a quick stab of the dagger, which is what I tried to do when Shield Boy got involved earlier. Shield Boy runs at you from time to time, and if he does, that's a good opportunity to get a good parry in. And with the minions managed, now we can focus on Commander Niall. Let him summon his wind and his lightning. He's going to do this every time. And then he's immediately going to open up with the lightning leg. Just dodge backwards from it. And then correct your position and get the parry in. Throughout this video, you will see me experimenting a little bit with staying in melee range and running away. Ultimately, by the end, I decided that it was better to just keep my distance from him. If I tried to stay in melee range, I found myself getting caught up in those big AoE attacks, and I was having difficulty dodging through them. And so I just decided staying away and keeping my distance was better. And there's a perfect example of me not really having a good grasp of how to deal with those big AoE attacks. Back into the fight, deep breath. Sip the flask, snap the crab. And get ready. Overhead, left hand attack. Perfect parry on him. Finish him off with a quick stab. And bait out Shield Boy. Luckily Niall is moving away here, which is nice. I could just get him to give me something. Here we go. Dodge forward and get behind him. Backstab. He could stay in melee range, which I did decide to do there. I got a parry and it paid off nicely. Back to Niall again. Wind and lightning summons. Let him do his dance. Get ready for the leg. Lightning leg. Dodge backwards. Boom. Nice parry. Get the reverse. And run away. Eventually I learned how to deal with that. It just took me a few times of getting smacked in the face before I finally learned. So deep breath, back into the fight. Sip the flask, snap the crab. Run to the corner and bait out Naruto. Nice parry. When I went back and tried this, it felt so good to use Golden Bow and to kill those guys in one riposte rather than two, or rather than one riposte and then a dagger stab. Here we go. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Same strategy. There we go. I tried to parry that, but my timing was off. Run away so I have time to sip a flask. Here he comes. Do I get the parry? Nope. But I got that parry, which is nice. Now wait for it. I'm about to demonstrate why you don't sip a flask when you're in melee range. Because you get stabbed in the face. So it might be something that you want to avoid doing. Here comes lightning leg. Dodge backwards. Correct your position. Parry. Boom. Got him. And run away. Good idea, if you're a rune level 1 squishy wuss like me, to just keep your distance so that you don't get caught in those AoE attacks. I'm sure there are some people that figured out some more stylish strategies. Dodge backwards and whiff it. There you go. That's why you correct your position. Dodge. This is me trying to stay in melee range and see if I can figure out something with that. And then ultimately deciding that, nah, I just want to keep my distance. And here he comes, dodge forward. And blocked that one attack, and there you go. Those were some pretty well-timed dodges right there. Dodge backwards. And I whiffed it again. I didn't correct my position for whatever reason. And then put up your shield and try to block the attack and pay for it dearly. And that's how you don't play the game. Take a deep breath, right back in. Sip the flask, snap the crab. Tuck yourself in the corner, bait out Naruto boy. Ooh, totally messed it up on the timing there. Luckily he gave me another parryable attack, which I was able to take advantage of. Shield boy teasing me with a little bit of wind there, but not actually following through. Not sure why he does that sometimes. And then me messing up the dodge. So I had to run away so I could create some space for sipping a flask. And now Commander Niall's coming at me, trying to get involved. He doesn't understand that right now my beef is only with his little shield boy here. His shield minion. Got the dodge that time and the backstab, which felt good. Tried to get some little stabs in. Didn't work out. I mean, it did some damage, which was nice. And then I put my shield up in time to block some of that other damage. And then I got a parry in, so it all worked out in the end. I sometimes grab those runes because visually it just kind of messes me up sometimes, so I like to not have them sitting there in front of my eyes. I find it distracting. So sometimes in the middle of a fight you'll see me grab them. I think I was wondering if I could try parrying and dodging some of this stuff. See, that's also a parryable attack, but you have to be willing to stay in melee range. And you have to have good timing on dodging the big AoEs. Now this is nice when you get this, and he's guaranteed to do this every single fight. He just takes a knee and pretty much invites you to get some dagger swipes in. So he may as well take advantage of that. Here he comes, doing his little walk. Doing his little walk on the catwalk. Get a nice little parry in, right up next to the screen so you can't tell what's going on. Sometimes I find myself backed up against the wall and I just wind up parrying and attacking based on muscle memory alone. There you go, Wolf. Know your place. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Eventually I was starting to get tired in this fight. And so I was starting to make stupid mistakes like not getting my dodge timing correct. I've mentioned it before in other videos that sometimes when when the emotions start to run high, I've maybe had a little too much coffee, then I start to make stupid mistakes like that right there, but also like not getting my dodge timing correct. Either I don't get the timing or I hold the space bar down instead of just tapping it. Nevertheless, throw myself right back into the fight. Watch Niall do his little dance. Lightning kick coming up. Backwards roll. Whiff it again because you forgot to correct your positioning. That's okay, don't let it upset you, just keep your head in the fight. Watch Niall do his Chad walk towards you, slowly. Run away from him. Wait for him to figure out what he's gonna do. Watch him do another little wind summon. And here he comes. Now eventually I figure out that that attack is pretty easily dodgeable. Again, I was trying to stay in melee range and see if I could get some parries off, but then decided against it. Finally got the attack that I was waiting for so that I could punish it. The unfortunate downside of this strategy that I came up with was that you're doing a lot of running away, waiting for him to give you the parryable attack, and then sometimes getting punished for it. And that's why you see me from time to time trying to test out if I can stay in melee range with him, just to be able to defeat him a little bit faster. But unfortunately, every time I tried that, I was punished, so I decided to stick with the strategy that was working for me. I could have parried that, but I didn't. I'm not sure what I was thinking. My timing was bad, so I got paid for it by getting stabbed in the face. And then my timing was bad again, so I paid for it again by getting dead. Take a deep breath. Enjoy these guys standing around like they're posing for a photo shoot for their new album that's about to drop. It's always fun to see. Always fun to watch them gloating over your corpse. Does wonders for morale. And as I'm sure you can guess, my morale was pretty low at this point. But you know, that's the story of Elden Ring. Welcome to Elden Ring, my friends. So after taking a break, maybe get another cup of coffee that I don't need, stretch, go to the bathroom, shake out the stress. Now we can throw ourselves back into the fight. And our timing is a little bit better, and we get some parries in. And right there, I'm reminded not to take my eyes off these guys. So I just run away, hope I got some space, sip a flask, get ready to take out Shield Boy. Dodge, nice dodge, but I didn't line up for the backstab correctly. That's okay, we'll get it. Parry the attack that I don't think is parryable, but I continue to try to parry it anyway. Because I'm hard-headed and I never learned my lesson. He's Naruto running, so it seems like he'll give you one of two attacks if he's Naruto running at you. One of them is parryable, the other is not. And that clearly was not. So when does your album drop again? Remind me? Yeah, thanks a lot. Okay. Deep breath. Sip the flask, snap the crab. Come here, Naruto, I'm ready for you. Get the parry. Stab him in the cod piece. Finish him off and start running. Okay, Shield Boy, what you gonna do? There I am, testing out my dodge. At this point in my runbacks, and occasionally in this fight, I was just doing some practice dodge rolls because I was really trying to hammer it into my potato brain that I need to just pop that spacebar rather than press it and hold it down. So finally, after a lot of mess-ups, I was able to finish off those two minions. I was able to get back into a 1v1 fight with Niall. Whiffed it again on the parryable attack because I forgot to correct my position. Here comes the lightning leg. There you go, you could see I corrected my position there and I was able to actually successfully parry him that time. And then I just back away and wait for him to give me something that I can work with. And here comes this nice attack. Again, I was still playing around with the idea of maybe I would try to stay in melee range and fight him that way. But it really wasn't working out for me. I probably could have spent more time and possibly figured it out, but I would have had to put up with a lot more of that. And at this point, I don't know that my morale was willing to put up with that kind of punishment. So, even though I was flirting with the idea of staying in melee range, eventually I do ultimately decide that the best strategy for me was to just keep my distance. Keep my distance, parry the lightning leg, and be happy and healthy, and maybe win the fight eventually. Dodge forward, get the backstab in. Here we go. I love that attack. It's very telegraphed, very parryable attack. Come on, Niall, do your dance. Summon your wind, summon your lightning. Now give me something I can work with. Dodge backwards. Correct position. Parry. Get the riposte. Wash. Rinse. Repeat. That's what you need to do. At least that's what I needed to do in this fight. Dodge forward. And then get out of there. So now I'm starting to decide that I'm just not going to be able to defeat him by staying in melee range, because I was going to get punished by those AoE attacks every time. So I decided that after that one attack where he charges straight at you, I would just get out of there. Here comes this nice attack. I love this attack. This is my favorite attack. Easily dodgeable, and then you can just punish the crap out of him now. Because for some reason he just decides to take a knee and stop fighting. Yeah, I have no words. I was talking smack and I got punished for it. You know what they say, karma's well, karma's something. You don't want to mess with it. Deep breath, sip the flask, snap the crab. Get ready for Naruto. Nice. Little stabby stabby. Run away. Take a shield to the face. Feels real good. Run away some more. Sip your flask. Do a lot of running away in this fight. At least I did. Nice little parry. Stab him in the codpiece. Slice his face. And get ready for Niall. Do your little dance. Do your little turn on the catwalk, Niall. Here comes the lightning leg. Dodge backwards, correct position, parry, stab. Wash, rinse, repeat. That attack I think is parryable, but again, at this point I had decided I'm not staying in melee range. Do some panic rolls, but this is nice because there I only do one roll, and it starts to dawn on me that hey, I don't have to panic at all. There you go, dodge once, and just move away. Took my potato brain way too long to figure that out, but at least I figured it out eventually. So now, at this point, moving forward, it's just hoping that he gives you the attack that you want. Dodge backwards and away, correct your position, parry, stab him in the codpiece. And get ready, because after this second riposte, you're getting the big showy attack followed by him taking a knee. There we go, I almost forget. Immediately go right back in for a lot of stabs. This time I get away from the lightning stomp. And here he comes. Dashing forward, just dodge into it and run away. And that's the fight. At this point I had everything figured out. I just had to put it all together and have it all work out. Correct position, parry, stab him in the codpiece, and run away. Parryable attack again. But I'm not thinking about all the parryable attacks, I'm only thinking about the one that I can easily deal with. Dodge forward, run back and away. Once I did figure this strategy out, I started to hate this fight a little bit less, and I started to have a lot more fun. I've been thinking about going back and doing this fight again as a true parry only, but I mean, when he takes that knee, it's so hard to not punish it. I may go back and try to do this fight again without taking damage, I think this is the first fight where I really feel like that's something possible for me. So, something I can think about for the future. Nice parry, stab him in the neck, and run away. And wait for the next lightning leg. Dodge forward, run away. This has always been one of my favorite fights. Especially because Commander Niall is one of the few bosses that is actually parryable, and I love that. I was actually starting to hate this fight at RUNE level 1, but once I got the timing down on the dodges, and once I figured out a strategy that was going to work for me, I really started to have a lot of fun with this fight again. And that's what has me thinking that I'd like to go back and try this fight again without taking damage. Because it is a fight that I have fun with. So I don't mind going back and doing it again. Nice little parry, stab him in the neck, run away. We're almost there. Everything's coming up Millhouse. Come on, sir. Just give me one more lightning leg. That's all I need. Thank you. Dodge back and away. Correct position. Parry. Stab. Oh, looks like I need one more lightning leg. What you got for me, Commander? Yes, it is my birthday. Thank you. Correct position. Parry. Stab him in the neck. And that's the fight. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bow to your honorable opponent. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, please support me. You know how to do it. I appreciate having you here. I appreciate your support. And with that being said, I wish you good luck. Happy gaming. Cheers, everyone.